Because when you look at a life's journey, like you said, when everybody opens up, everybody's got kind of the degrees may vary, but everybody's got some of the same stories.
It's real.
Same challenges,
It's real.
same obstacles, same things that kind of got in the way and brought sorrow. But the difference is there is somebody that just kept on motoring through and pushing through.
That's it.
Yep.
And so I just think that, sometimes we look at talent. We think it's just they had God's favor blessing, we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
When the truth is they just kept going.
Life can be fast-paced, strenuous, and flat-out overwhelming. Life transitions and taboo topics can make it hard to catch your breath. Welcome to Breathe, a podcast that enables you to slow down, get your bearings, and engage in real conversations where no topic is off limits. Breathe is presented by Breath of Life, hosted by David Person and speaker-director Pastor Debleaire Snell.
Boom! Oh, I'm sorry. I messed it up. Let me
Come on.
Boom!
I was like, what?
I had my phone in my
David,
hand.
what happened here? Put that phone down, man. You messed up the whole flow.
You're like,
of everything.
you're one of the millennials, man.
That's what I was going to say. Just like the kids, man. Just like get the phone in my hand. And
I looked
like,
around, I was
yeah.
like, wait, what's wrong? What's wrong here? Oh, man, we're glad to be back, man.
We are glad to be back. Welcome to Breathe.
Yes, indeed.
Pastor Debleaire Snell, Pastor Kirk Nugent,
Let's go.
and David Person. We're glad to be with you again.
Absolutely.
Kicking off this month of July with a great new series.
Yeah.
And
July already.
Yeah.
July, yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Goes by fast.
We're over the half of the
Yeah.
year mark.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Well, this is what, I think I may have shared this with you guys before. This is what happens as you get older. See, I've already experienced this.
Hey, let us know.
Now you all are experiencing it. This is what
Hey, it's moving so fast, man.
Yeah.
It's moving so fast, so crazy.
Well, no matter how fast it may be moving or not moving for you,
There we go.
everything is going to be all right. Everything will get better. I still didn't say it right. What is
No.
Yeah. Everything's going to be all right.
Everything's going to be all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Everything is going to be all right.
That's
That
the
is our new series for the month of July.
Love it.
Everything is going to be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Everything's gonna
And
be
that's
all
a
right.
positive message.
Yeah.
So that means, of course, that we're probably going to talk about some things that are going to be at times a little challenging, but we're telling you
It's going to be all right.
everything's going to be all right.
Everything's going to be all right.
That's it.
So-
Start with the end in mind.
That's right. So the first topic, giving up.
Yeah.
Now, we're not talking about giving up on life,
Yeah.
but we're talking about just those circumstances in life that we all face,
Yeah.
and you just think,
I just.
I just can't make it. I'm
Yeah.
not going to be able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
It
very
happens.
That's
It's
what we're
a
talking
very real conversation. In many different areas and aspects of life. I mean, there are some that you just can't give up, right? If you're a parent, there's no giving back.
No.
And many times you don't want to. That's the gift that keeps on giving, man. Parenting is one of those things you just the joy of it is it's amazing. But I'll tell you, in entrepreneurship, man, there are days
Yeah.
where you're like, man,
yes.
let me just go and find a 9-to-5.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me go ahead and find a 9-to-5 and call it a day. Let me punch
Yeah.
somebody's clock. Let me go and do the minimum.
Yeah.
Let me get some insurance and health care and call it a day. But
Yeah.
there's just so many different dynamics that goes along with some of those different things, and in different projects as well, right?
Yeah.
So not just entrepreneurship. Maybe you're trying to, we talk about vision and dreamers. Sometimes there's a season as you're trying to birth that thing. It just feels insurmountable sometimes, and you're just like, man, I really feel like giving up. But I love this refrain. It's going to be all right.
Yeah.
It's going to be all right. There's God has placed something within you that will help you to get over the hurdle. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think you used a word that I know is in our first question, which is overwhelmed. It's very easy to feel overwhelmed when we come up against a challenge.
Absolutely.
Have you ever felt overwhelmed?
Oh yeah, I think it's interesting because I think sometimes I think we have to be careful about how we communicate the language of faith, because I think at times it may come across, even if that's not what's intended, as if, man, a robust faith makes you immune.
Yeah.
Just to all of life's challenges and disappointments and just the tensions that press upon all people. And so it's interesting because even when you think of an Elijah, you know what I'm saying? So it's amazing because like it just shows you how crushing disappointment can be. So remember, we love to tell the story of, the defeat of the prophets of Baal and how fire came down from heaven and confirmed that, Elisha's God was a true God. They overthrew and exposed the imposters of the prophets of Baal. And in my mind, I can see Elijah thinking, this is it.
I'm good.
It's going to usher in revival. Right. Things are about to turn. Jezebel is, she's going to be on her heels. But Jezebel dug in. It was just like, no. Bring him here.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because when things didn't change, Elijah, he literally did give up. He went and sat up under that juniper tree and was just like it just longed for death. He gave up. Yeah. And I just think that there are times like in the word where the heroes of faith were just like, I quit. Like Jonah was just like, I'm done. I'm not doing this no more. And I say that to say, I just think that there have been times, and I can tell you that those decisions probably would have been premature or errant. But there was a time where just as a pastor, it feels silly to say now, but early on as a younger pastor, and I don't mean just starting out, but just as a younger pastor, where sermons were not particularly connecting, growth was not explosive. I remember so the equivalent of a professor getting tenure is when a pastor gets ordained.
Yeah.
So I remember the first time or so my name came up to be ordained, conference like, we're not sure if he has what it takes. Wow. And we're going to kind of put him on the waiting list again.
Mercy.
Mercy. Wait a minute. Can we just put a pin in that for a minute?
Yeah.
Wait, we're talking about Debleaire Snell.
Debleaire,
yes, sir.
Very
yes,
much.
Sir.
Very much, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. After my third, fourth year, and so I did, thank God, get ordained.
Yeah.
But, and so I'm saying, I think that there were times where I was just like, maybe I don't have whatever it is that, allows you to have great or meaningful success in this journey. And, or there just been tensions in marriage where we felt like giving up. Our journey to childhood after a number of losses through miscarriage, I had kind of essentially resigned or resolved within myself, like, all right, Lord, if your will is just something else, then all right, we just need to kind of stop putting ourselves through this. That was kind of my energy because I went into an emotionally protective posture for myself and for Gianna. And so I just think that's a part of the human experience. So I've been there on more than one occasions, and with certain things, it tends to be a little cyclical. Yeah, you kind of reach that point, maybe every few years, or depending on how some things play out.
Yeah.
It's got to be interesting. I'm coming back to the ordination thing, even though the other things you mentioned are really much more consequential.
Sure,
Not going through miscarriages. That's consequential.
It is, sure,
and that's not to diminish, career development.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting how sometimes people don't see, and that's because we're human.
You're human.
It is.
We don't see sometimes the potential in people.
That's true. Yeah.
And maybe sometimes it's because of us.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it may be because of the person. And they just haven't, stepped into their destiny yet. But I just think it's interesting that you went through that. You said, what, 2 or 3 times?
Well, twice. Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
And then finally you were ordained, but then fast forward, and, your ministry career is something that nobody would question. And I think that's a good lesson for a lot of younger women and men in ministry who are waiting for their opportunity and who may even be facing questions from the conference or from somebody in their congregation.
But the worst questions They come from inside of you.
You hit that's exactly what I was
those are
going.
the ones like
That's
you're
where-
kind of
yep.
like,
Yep.
because those other things are disappointing, but they kind of come and they go. But these, they wake up with you.
That's it.
They go to sleep with you. They're
Yeah.
going with you to Walmart. And so those are the ones you have to truly manage. But yeah, I just think kind of coming to the end of yourself. I think it's a part of the human experience, because one of the things, man, that difficulty does is it has this way of posing as permanent. And I just think that I love, man, it's so funny because there are certain things that we run past. We've heard it so much. But that Ecclesiastes 3, and it just sounds poetic, but I don't think we realize kind of how true it is. There's going to be, there is a time and a purpose for every season under heaven.
Yeah.
So there are going to be seasons where it is a season to laugh. And even as godly as you are, it's going to be a season to mourn.
Yeah.
There's going to be seasons where, I mean, he lays it all out. It's going to be a season where you're going to be building.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a season where it must be torn down. He says there's going to be seasons where you plant, and there are going to be seasons where you have to pluck up what has been planted.
That's it.
He says there's going to be times, really, a time of peace. But then there's going to be a time of contentious battle, war, and that warfare may take different forms or different shapes. But I just think at the end of the day, I think part of kind of what helps you realize everything is going to be all right, the more you've lived, the more you've abided in Christ, as you realize is no predicament is permanent. They're all passing. And I think that's instructive even, and it's not to be paranoid, but like even if you're in a great season, it's passing, and there'll be another season, but that's going to pass too.
Yeah.
That's a great point. That's a great word. Do you think there's ever a time when it is appropriate to give up?
I mean, give up is a very strong phrase.
That is a strong term. Yeah.
I mean, I think there are times to assess, maybe times to pause.
That's a good word.
Maybe times to even pivot.
Yeah.
But I think
as a kid say, what was the little thing they do? The little thing that, yeah.
But I do think there is. I think many of us. I was in a job interview, and one of the guys was saying the question that they shared was, "Tell me something you failed at, and what did you learn from it?" And I just thought that was a phenomenal question, because, I mean, many of us could raise our hands and say what we failed at, but what did you learn from it? And I think there's, so in terms of, because the give up is not even pulling from the wreckage the lessons that you can take into the next venture. So I don't know that I would say there's a season to just flat out throw your hands up and do nothing.
Yeah.
But I do think there are times to reassess. There are times to pivot. There's times to say maybe we're putting our effort in the wrong area.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a time to say I'm not putting any effort out at all.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. I like that.
It's funny if I could tack something onto this, and sometimes depending on where you are, sometimes it's hard to know the difference between the two. But sometimes I do think, and it kind of speaks to that idea of assessing and transitioning possibly. It's interesting. The temptation is always to give up on what is good. But we have great perseverance.
Oh, this is so good.
And great follow through and stubbornness and tenacity for that which is not just bad or evil, but that which is not ordained for me.
Yeah.
So it's not sometimes not morally evil, but this is not your path.
That's it.
And I just think sometimes, you know what we do? We squander our persistence on the wrong path.
On the wrong path.
And so we think, man, I don't have as much resolve as Kirk or David or this person. When the truth is, no, I mean, you've just given your resolve to something that bears no fruit.
Mercy.
So that now the resolve you need to persevere on the path that is good, that will yield a meaningful return.
Absolutely.
See, I just think, man, the enemy he's so stealthy.
Yeah.
If we can just pour our life essence into a relationship that has no future, to a job that has no future, to an enterprise that this is just, it's not evil, but it's just not your purpose or plan. You don't really, because all of us only have so many punches we can take. We only have so much to pour. And that's why I think it's really incumbent upon us to be very diligent and thoughtful about where we're making our investments, where we're making our deposits. Because if you deposit in the wrong space, now when it's time for me to really hunker down, I've given it I put it in the wrong place.
Yeah.
And I just think that's critical. The other thing I wanted to just throw out there for consideration is this, so I just think, give up on that which is not for you. Give up on that which is evil. There are times where it is evil. Give up on that too, right? But then I think the other thing is, I think there's a time where you need to make sure, because there's some times where people say, I gave up on this, I quit, and I stopped, or I just let it go, and I just have so much more peace now. But I think, though, sometimes you got to make a distinction between peace and comfort, because I think those are two different things. Because sometimes, like the peace that comes along with quitting something, it's not even really peace. It's just quitting just makes it easier for me. It just makes it more comfortable for me. But peace doesn't accompany less of a burden or stress. Peace shows up in tense, uncomfortable places of life. And so I just think that we've got to, and I'm not saying that there's never a time, but I just think you got to kind of be mindful of the difference between those two.
That's big. Yeah.
Because again, I think there would have been a time where it would have been a lot more comfortable for me. Just like, all right, G, let's not go back down that road. It would have been probably a lot more comfortable for me to say, let me just try to do something else, at least in the immediate. But I just think that that's not always spiritual abiding peace. I think it is a comfort that will be quickly disrupted if you never really turn or really learn how to stick with it.
I think that is a distinction that is so important. And I have to be honest and say, when I knew that we were going to tackle this, it never occurred to me that this could be one of the gems. Like the young people used to say, whenever it was, you dropped some bars right there.
That's bars.
That's
bars.
That's bars right there. They used to
Drop
say
some
that.
bars.
They don't say it anymore. So don't say that to your child.
We say it.
We still say it. Whatever they're done with, we can take it.
Right.
But the distinction between peace and comfort, I think we should close by really making clear what is the difference. How do we distinguish between being comfortable and really being at peace?
So did you want to jump in first, or?
No, I was going to just say in terms of peace and comfort, I do think that anything worth having, though, is you almost want a story. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying.
There's you had to overcome to get it. Like I got my PMP certification, but I failed twice before I got it. And when I started to share that openly,
what is PMP?
Project Management Professional. But when I shared that openly, several others started telling me how that's the hardest test I've ever taken. These are medical doctors. And I was like, well, it's a badge of honor now. There's something about overcoming great adversity that makes the prize that much more sweet. So I just feel like, is it peace? Comfort will never allow you to experience that level of accomplishment.
Right.
Because comfort is about ease.
Right.
So that's good. Good.
And I don't know if this is not scientific. I don't know if it goes completely across the board, but I think generally comfort is circumstantial. Peace is spiritual. I think peace, it abides no matter what the circumstance is.
Regardless of the external.
Right. I can only be comfortable in a preferred circumstance. And I just think peace, is kind of that inner assurance that allows me to grow even in an uncomfortable circumstance. A comfort, I only have assurance whenever things please, bring delight, or ease. And I think those are the two. And I just think there are a lot of people who, because honestly, man, it's tough. I just think the difference between anybody that has realized a dream and somebody who's abandoned it, I don't think it's talent. I don't think it's always gifting. I just think that person who realized it, they just kept going through the hard season. Whether it is, kind of hanging in there with children, a marriage, whatever it is, generally, it's just, because when you look at a life's journey, like you said, when everybody opens up, everybody's got kind of the degrees may vary, but everybody's got some of the same stories.
It's real.
Same challenges,
It's real.
same obstacles, same things that kind of got in the way and brought sorrow. But the difference is there is somebody that just kept on motoring through and pushing through.
That's it.
Yep.
And so I just think that, sometimes we look at talent. We think it's just they had God's favor blessing, we didn't. When the truth is they just kept going. It's interesting. There's this, the principle of the second wind. And it's funny because even scientists or doctors, they're not exactly sure what it is. But when an athlete or a runner specifically, like a distance runner, like when they are just at the point of exhaustion, they don't stop.
They keep pushing.
They just keep going. And they get what they call a second wind. And so some essentially surmise that the body has like these reserves, these pockets of strength or oxygen that you don't even get to access.
Mercy.
Unless you keep going when you're exhausted. Like you can't even access it. You can't even touch this. So if you quit, you'll never access it.
Yeah.
You'll never be able to tap into it. But like those who are like professional athletes or real runners, they just keep going because they know there is a supply that I can't even touch until I have nothing else to give.
Man, that is powerful.
Yeah.
And there's a lesson in that for all of
It
us.
is.
A spiritual lesson.
A spiritual lesson.
Right?
It is.
You know, I mean, when you're tempted to give up, especially when you know that this is the path God has you on, don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Come on.
Keep pushing.
It's going to be all right.
That second wind is coming.
Yeah.
And of course, we believe that second wind is coming from the Holy Ghost.
Holy Ghost, amen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Come on, bring it
Come
home,
on,
Doc.
come on, David. Come on, David. Where's the organ? Where's the organ? Come on, Doc.
Of course.
We got a second wind coming in.
Man, I love it.
Holy
man.
Ghost, that's right.
I love it, man. Everything's going to be all right.
Yeah, so be encouraged.
Be encouraged.
Be encouraged. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Be encouraged.
Yes, indeed.
And can I just say this before we wrap too?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I think sometimes when you're in it, sometimes I think you have to kind of go back to your why. And yes, this great book is called Start With Why.
Yeah.
But I just think that there are times where in the when you're in the crucible, that there's certain paths or it will not seem worth it.
Yeah.
But if you started this enterprise,
Come on.
sometimes you got to go back to the why.
Yeah.
Why did we do this? It wasn't just to make money, but like, I'm going to be able to impact the world through this enterprise. And you got to go back to that why.
Yeah.
Sometimes, listen, I had to do this. I have to do this all the time. When I'm ready to give up on this exercise or eating right. When I just want to go, I want to just go back to Krispy Kreme.
Just give me my donut. Just give me my donut.
I literally have to go back to why. And you know what? One of my whys is just even with health. I'm like, okay, I want to be, if Jesus does not come, I want to be around, to be a healthy parent. I was a little bit of an older dad, you know what I'm saying? But, not much, but, a little older than most of my friends. Most of my friends are bringing kids to college now. I'm still dropping them off at elementary school, right? But, if God wills, you know what I'm saying? It's not about just, how I may look, but like, if the Lord wills and we're all in what Paul says, a perishable body.
That's
so,
correct.
you never know. But I want to, as far as it depends on me, I want to be around as a parent, as a grandparent. And if the Lord gives me strength to keep preaching this gospel, I don't want anything to short circuit that. That is a lifestyle issue that can be managed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
Or so whether it's your marriage, your work,
big.
I think you have to kind of go back to that why, because I think the why refuels you. The why revives you. The why is where you kind of get that fortitude to say, okay, this is going to be worth it. Because I think sometimes if you're just looking at the present, you might give up. But I just think sometimes you got to look to the end and realize why you took this path in the beginning, or just even where you first heard the Lord say, "Go."
Yeah. And I think the older you get, the longer you live, the more you realize that that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I think when you're younger, sometimes it feels like every bad thing that happens is like, well, that's it. That's the defining moment.
That's the defining moment.
There's nothing more I can do about this, And
I just think, man, it's funny. You hit on something I think is very powerful, because I do think that there is and And I guess maybe it was every generation of young people. But I kind of feel like with this group, there is a sense of if it doesn't happen by the time I'm 25 or 30, and maybe it just ain't gonna happen. Whether it's the right person, the right job. Like I think part of the myth of hip hop culture is like you see these people living in mansions, driving fancy cars, throwing around stacks of cash when they're 18, 19. And I think it creates a kind of a false perception.
Completely.
But like, really the sweetest, I think that, the things that the seeds you sow early in life, I think the investments don't begin to compound into later in life. And so I just think that sometimes the belief that if certain things haven't happened by the time I'm 35 or 40 or even 45, I think those are premature assessments of kind of how the rest of life is going to play out. And so I love what Ecclesiastes 7:8 says. Says the end of a matter is better than the beginning. And so I just think that, I just want to encourage somebody to run on and abide and hang in there because the latter is supposed to be greater than the former.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
I've got 2 female friends. I won't name them because I don't necessarily have permission to tell their stories. But one just got married, and I think she is her first marriage, and I think she's probably in her early 40s, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Got another friend who's going to be getting married this month.
Yeah.
July.
Oh, man. All right.
51.
All right.
First marriage.
Lord can do it.
Happen.
Yeah.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Hear that, ladies?
Amen. Yeah.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
There's still somebody out there for you.
Just for you. Yeah.
And whatever it is, we're saying don't give up. Whatever it is, whatever the challenge is.
Yep.
And of course, the best way to make sure that you don't give up.
That's right.
Every day, stop, pray, and breathe.
Breathe is produced by David Person for Breath of Life. Executive producer is Debleaire Snell, and sound engineer is Kirk Nugent. Audio episodes of Breathe can be found on Apple, Spotify, or Google podcast platforms. For video episodes and extra content, check out the Breath of Life YouTube channel. Breath of Life is faith-based content, resources, and programs from a contemporary urban perspective for those looking for hope and guidance. We believe that every breath we take is a testimony that God is consistent, that He loves us, and has a plan for our lives.